and this is another scenario intriguing. QT Marshall obviously has been on and off TV and not necessarily talked about that much, but boy, is he ever talked about now as of late of what we saw last week. And now, this is truly, I mean, we've seen a couple segments, but to cut a promo like this that was, full of emotion, you talk about untapped potential or untapped talent. Like, man, this guy is quickly making this feud extremely relevant and important. And, it's going to lead to Anthony Ogogo's in-ring debut. So this is, like big push for QT coming. And that's what's so great about AEW is they have so much talent, or necessarily unknown talent or untapped potential, that they're not afraid to go in. And for this, and I understand, Cody obviously is a genius on many levels, and he knows he makes decisions that sometimes you scratch your head, but then down the line, why it's made. Whatever match it may be. So this promo, man, was absolutely fire and, very personal.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm excited for this.
I'm
excited.
We talked a lot about, like, tonight's Dynamite, I felt like was very heavy on awesome promos.
Yes.
To the point where I felt like the promos all in the segments sometimes at times outshined the in-ring matches in tonight's episode. I know everyone's buzzing about Jericho, and understandably so. It was like was an epic rant. I thought DMD's promo later on, we'll talk about that, was on point. I was going to get into that one. But I was really, I was really impressed by QT tonight, man. I thought that, there's a lot of people, a lot of skeptics that can throw some shade at QT for being in the position that he's in, and seeing this feud when it played out. I know that there were people who were vocal online about, man, him going against Cody, that's an opportunity that should have gone to somebody else, and and all this stuff, bro. Anything like that gets silenced after a night like tonight. QT Marshall cut, he cut an absolutely badass promo, man, when he was going hard at Cody. Some of the lines that he was going in, digging in his past, talking about how he knew he had to paint his face to make it, because even as Dusty Rhodes' son, he still didn't have it in him to be a big timer, a big star. Mentioning Ted DiBiase Jr. Going back to Cody's origins, dude, just digging in hard at Cody and trying to dig up some of those insecurities within Cody. We look at Cody now, and the AEW fan base does not really see the journey up to AEW. If you didn't see where Cody came from, QT was quick to remind you. Cody himself battled a lot of critics, a lot of people who said he was only in this business because he was Dusty's son. That he wasn't a top guy. He was a good, decent guy in the ring who could get other people over, had a name, and that he was only really in the position that he was in because of his dad. And, for QT to bring those things up, kind of rip this, dig away at those old wounds.
Right.
I felt like it was trying to goad Cody into getting emotional, getting bent, and also push Cody to feel like, maybe look himself in the mirror and say, Cody, you did exactly to me what you hated about people doing to you in your career.
Yeah.
You set me up. And again, I love when our characters have consistent, intelligent motivations. But if you're QT Marshall, you can say, man, like, you did exactly to me what you said that you hated, and that it pushed you to leave the big time and bet on yourself and travel the world to try to figure out and find your own career. You look at the situation you put me in. No matter what I do, people are always going to think that I'm only here because of you. So I just felt like the very intelligent promo by QT. Obviously now the Nightmare Family is no more. It's just the Nightmare Factory. Now it's just the Factory. I thought QT did a great job of putting over the guys in his crew. Anthony Ogogo, dude, that dude, like, just
got a great look.
He grabbed the spotlight quickly. in that segment. If anybody, I mean, for us here, we all love Nick Camarado. We all see potential in that dude. Aaron Solo, I know you've talked to me a little bit about how much you've enjoyed some of his matches on Dark and things like that. But Anthony's going to get an opportunity next week on Dynamite for his in-ring debut. And I think a lot of people are chomping at the bit to see what this guy can do, because if he can deliver in the ring, and we know he's a boxing. I mean, the dude was an Olympian, isn't a boxer.
Bronze medal, yep.
The guy has a lot of upside as far as being a believable fighter and a believable superstar and an international draw. We know the Khan family are very big on that international draw, being involved in Premier League and everything like that overseas. These guys know what they're doing. But I feel like if he can deliver a promo like he did tonight and he could go in the ring, AEW has another star on their hands. I love how much talent this roster has, man. It's unbelievable.